Lieutenant Eduardo Lascano. And that was in May of this year. A former WBO junior featherweight champion who tonight will be challenging Gonzalez for the 126-pound championship.
And he and his manager, Frank Espinosa, right behind him, have said that they feel like they've been chasing Johnny Gonzalez for a while. Gonzalez, for his part, says, no, it was just when I was with Golden Boy, they couldn't make the fight. We were in different weight classes. But Ponce de Leon has the mental outlook that Gonzalez doesn't want to fight him, and he seems energized over that.
Yeah, whatever psychological advantage you can give yourself, right?
The champion, Johnny Gonzalez, turning 31 today, and for the third consecutive year, fighting on Mexican Independence Day weekend. He has won 12 fights in a row, 11 by way of knockout, coming off a 12-round unanimous decision win against former WBC featherweight world champion Elio Rojas. And Paulie, we've got a birthday boy sitting with us here tonight, Al Bernstein. Happy birthday, big guy.
Thank you.
Birthday, big guy.
I'm a little older than Johnny Gonzalez.
Just a little, but you can't even tell.
Here's the tale of the tape for this WBC Featherweight Championship bout.
Now, in this case, unlike the last fight, the man with the height and reach advantage, which is Johnny Gonzalez, would like to use that. Even if he's a power puncher, which he is, he likes to do it from a distance.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, our hard-hitting action continues in Knockout Kings with our next attraction coming your way, a World Championship bout brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions and Showtime. We are sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, Dual Tools and their new 20-volt max brushless technology. They are guaranteed tough. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. This bout is presented in conjunction with Del Pueblo Promotions and is sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Rex Ross Walker. Introducing to you our three judges scoring from ringside. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Dick Houck. Also from Las Vegas, Jerry Roth. And from Tulsa, Oklahoma, David Sutherland. Introducing to you our third man in the ring. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Kenny Bayless. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with green and red trim, fighting out of West Covina, California, by way of Cuauhtemoc, Chihuahua, Mexico. He weighed in at 125.5 pounds with a record of 43 wins and 4 losses. He has 35 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked the WBC number 6 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the longtime former WBO junior featherweight champion of the world, introducing Daniel Ponce de Leon. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim, hailing from Mexico City, La Ciudad de Mexico, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at a ready 125 pounds with an outstanding record of 52 wins and 7 losses. He has 45 big wins coming by way of knockout. And tonight he is making the 5th defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the 2-time world champion and the current WBC featherweight champion of the world, introducing Johnny Gonzalez. And once again, a referee in charge now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
Okay, gentlemen, trunks are good on both sides. Gentlemen, I went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to keep this fight clean at all times. Protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Bruno Suarte, touch him up.
Don't forget, after the main event, we will determine who is the knockout king of the night.
Tell you, when I first saw the card, I thought this could be the knockout of the night fight. They both get a lot of knockouts, and they both get knocked out.
And we are set for the first of what could be 12 rounds for the WBC Featherweight Championship. The champion, Johnny Gonzalez, having won 12 in a row, 11 of those via form of knockout. The challenger, Daniel Ponce de Leon, coming forward early. Gonzalez in the black with silver trunks. Ponce de Leon in the black with green. And Ponce de Leon spent time training at the same gym as Jesus Soto Caras, the Sky High Gym in Big Bear, California, getting some of that high altitude training in to help with his conditioning. Overhand left by the challenger.
Ponce de Leon, of course, as you see, a left-hander trying to land the straight left, while Toshiaki Nishioka, the Japanese champion, knocked out Johnny Gonzalez back in 2009 with a straight left hand. And it was at that point that Gonzalez got with Nacho Beristain. He was thinking his career might be over. Since then, he's been undefeated, and he has fought at a different level.
Hooking up with the Hall of Fame trainer, inducted in 2011. Of course, our broadcast partner Al Bernstein inducted this year, and Beristain thinks that eventually Gonzalez could move up to 130 pounds, but first thing is first, he wants to successfully defend his 126-pound title here tonight.
Well, he does have a big frame. You see the difference in size here from De Leon. De Leon, the thicker guy, but definitely Gonzalez has a frame that could fill out to a bigger weight.
Nice jab a moment ago by Gonzalez. It's a weapon sometimes people forget to use against left-handers. Gonzalez also has a very good left hook to the body, and he has scored a couple of knockouts with that punch. And he wants very much to land that as well.
Final minute of the opening round. A relatively cautious start compared to the action we've seen here so far tonight at the MGM Grand, giving all of us a bit of a respite.
Hey, we needed a rest, didn't we, for a second? Catch our breath.
Hey, but don't catch your breath too long, because these two guys, just as slow as they're going right now, they can pick up the pace real quick.
Absolutely, and Ponce de Leon so far trying to land what is almost like a catapult-like left hand, the southpaw. And now Gonzalez putting together a three-punch combination. Final 5 seconds of the opening round for the WBC Featherweight Championship.
The keys for Johnny Gonzalez: move to his left, not his right. He's done that. And he has controlled the pace, I think, very well, and just started to get that right hand toward the end of the round. As for Daniel Ponce de Leon, shouldn't lunge, but guess what? He did that a lot in round one, and if he keeps doing it, he's going to get hit with a counter punch. Has not been able to work the body as much as he'd like. Did land a couple of left hands. That's the punch that is a knockout. That'll be it for him.
Luminaries in attendance tonight, including Mark Anthony. Huge boxing fan.
Won't find a better vocalist anywhere than him.
Round 2 underway, and it's been in the second round where Johnny Gonzalez has recorded 14 of his 45 victories via KO. For Ponce de Leon, the second round has produced 5 knockouts.
Johnny Gonzalez had 8 of his 10 connects in the last round in the final minute, so it took him a couple minutes to kind of control the pace, and that's when he started to do his best work.
Yeah, he's boxing intelligently, just trying to feel out the distance. He's coming in, he's coming out. I think as he gains his distance, he'll start to shoot more power shots. But it's definitely fighting intelligently. When you got a guy like Ponce who can hurt you with one shot, you don't want to just rush in.
Ponce de Leon, the former 122-pound champion who successfully defended the title 6 times between 2005 and 2008.
All the fighters on this card coming in tonight had 206 knockouts, stoppages that is. And so we've seen why in the first 2 fights already. We've seen 2 stoppages.
Gonzalez, the WBC Featherweight champ, making his 5th title defense, the former WBO Bantamweight champion.
The crowd even seems to have dimmed down a little bit. There's no way they could have held the energy up either.
No, they're getting a little rest here. And you know, it's not as if these guys aren't throwing punches. You see them, and they are picking, as you said, Paulie, they're starting to pick up the pace and to find the range.
Midway through round 2, Ponce de Leon flashes the jab, fighting out of the southpaw stance. Of course, the kryptonite for the southpaw is usually the right hand down the middle, and Gonzalez known for a vicious right hand, producing plenty of stoppages over the years.
And the other weapon that works so well is the left hook or double left hook to the body and the head. And Gonzalez, as I mentioned earlier, has scored knockouts with that punch.
Yes, he has, and he scored a nice right hand to the face of Ponce de Leon there. Final minute of the 2nd round. MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, playing host to Knockout Kings Mauro Ranallo, along with Hall of Famer Al Bernstein and welterweight champion Holly Malignaggi, getting ready to defend his title in Brooklyn, New York. You're going home, Paulie, October 20th.
I'm coming home.
We got a song out of you. That's pretty good. Extra. You don't like to charge for that, is there?
No, not for my voice, that's for sure.
Mark Anthony's listening.
And the spoiled fans here already a smattering of boos.
Can you imagine?
What have you done for me lately?
Sorry, they picked it up a little bit when the boos came.
Ponce de Leon moves Gonzalez back as we head to the 3rd round. And here's what's coming up on Showtime Sports. Showbox, the new generation, returns Friday, September 21st.
In black with silver, the challenger Daniel Ponce de Leon in black with green.
A clash of heads in that last round, and both men have small cuts because of it. I see the one cut on the forehead of Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, I think Gonzalez got a slight nickel right above his right eye. What happens when you're fighting a puncher, and both of these guys are punchers, you tend to have a little bit more respect when you're attacking or when you're picking your offense, you know, and it seems like both of these guys, although they want to fight and they're used to being in action-packed fights, they both respecting each other's power.
Yeah, you kind of expected that, especially for the beginning part of this fight.
And blood trickling down from that cut on the hairline of Ponce de Leon. Sorry, Al.
No, I'm sorry, Mauro. That was a good right hand by Gonzalez.
You know, no matter where the cut comes from, a lot of times when a fighter sees blood, it spurs him on to do more. Let's see if Gonzalez gets excited over seeing the blood on De Leon's face.
Right now, this fight has almost come down to, will Ponce de Leon land a big straight left that will hurt Gonzalez, or will Gonzalez land a right that will hurt Ponce de Leon? We're waiting to see which of those happens, if any.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes, even if it doesn't hurt them too bad, it may open up the floodgates for a brawl to break out, you know?
Yeah, good point. Both men are active. It's not as if they're not throwing. They're just not able to land as effectively as they'd like. Good right by Gonzalez, though.
Ponce de Leon now coming forward, right to the body by the champion as he wants to light that wick. And again, coming in, both of them have recorded spectacular knockouts in their career, again combining for 80 KOs. Ponce de Leon working the jab in the final minute, catches Gonzalez with that left.
Gonzalez starting to find the range for that right hand. He's 5-3 in fights against lefties of note. He's fought over 10 lefties, but of lefties that are a higher echelon, he's 5-3. So he's had some success, but also some failures, as in against Nishioka, who knocked him out.
Gonzalez 8-3 in world championship fights with 7 wins by way of knockout.
Gonzalez had a pretty good round here. "15 seconds left in the third round.
This for Johnny Gonzalez's WBC Featherweight Championship. Ponce de Leon going over top with the left hand, then a straight left through the guard. Another left hand for Ponce de Leon, who's backing up as we go to round 4. And here in attendance at the MGM Grand, someone who thought he was going to be fighting in the main event, Victor Ortiz, the former WBC welterweight champion, and you have to wonder what is going through his mind after having his jaw broken by Josecito Lopez.
In a very close and competitive fight, when that jaw got broken, he just couldn't continue. He will certainly return, and he is an action fighter who's been in many action fights. Now you look at the cut, that it's a pretty bad gash, but it's in a spot where normally they would not stop this fight. Now we're heading into round 4. If they stopped it right now, it would be a no contest. However, if we get past the end of the 4th round, they would go to the scorecards if this fight was stopped.
And round 4 begins. WBC Featherweight champion Johnny Gonzalez, the challenger Daniel Ponce de Leon. Ponce de Leon has 35 of his 43 wins by way of knockout. Sterling southpaw fighting the orthodox champion, and there the southpaw lands the left.
I'll tell you, that cut, although it's not in a bad spot on the scalp, it's in a place where the skin is just so thin, and it's right up against the bone, right up against the skull, that the blood just trickles out. It's kind of frustrating because, you know, it's so high up, you wouldn't think it would get in Ponce's eyes, but it keeps leaking down.
It does, and that's a really good point, Paulie. Do you think a fight can be stopped with a cut at that point?
You know, again, you want to see how the fighter's reacting if he's fighting. I mean, Ponce seems like, you know, he's trying to make it like it's not bothering him. But the thing is, it's getting in his eye. You know, again, I wouldn't want to stop a fight stop. But, you know, and I don't think Ponce does either. I mean, he's fighting. He's not even complaining or anything.
He's utilizing the ring and plenty of footwork here in round 4.
But it's so frustrating for it to get in your eye, even though the cut is so much above the eye.
Lands the jab. Does the challenger Ponce de Leon, goes downstairs, and Gonzalez hits him with a right hand. A lot of respect between these two power punchers so far in this one.
Well, as we've said, they've both scored knockouts and been stopped. I mean, Gonzalez, when he fought against Nishioka, I've mentioned that fight, he had Nishioka down and hurt, but then he got knocked out. So he understands that it can go both ways.
But since losing to Nishioka and hooking up with the Hall of Fame trainer Beristain, he has reeled off 12 consecutive wins, 11 of them inside the distance.
Yeah, they're trying to box intelligently while throwing their power shots. But as you can see, anytime a guy throws his combinations, it's never more than 2 or 3. They're looking to get in and get out. They don't want to stay in there too long inside the other guy's wheelhouse because they know the other guy can punch.
44 seconds left in the 4th round. Overhand left by the challenger. Gonzalez comes in, boxes the ears momentarily, and now Ponce de Leon sneaks a punch into the body. 20 seconds left in the 4th round. We are scheduled for 12 for the WBC Featherweight Championship. And blood again flowing, but it doesn't appear to be impairing Ponce de Leon's vision as Gonzalez lands the left hand. Ponce de Leon comes back with a left of his own, and round 4's in the books. Well, it is a football season, and you know what that means. The 5th season of Inside the NFL on Showtime. Already a very compelling start to the NFL campaign.
A lot of big stories. Peyton Manning returning with an amazing performance. And the New York Jets scored not one, but a bunch of touchdowns. They haven't scored none in the preseason.
Yeah, all that controversy about that offense, and look how they came out firing.
Go figure. And meanwhile, the Bears lose to the Packers.
And a man who is looking to defend his title coming up in November here on Showtime. Amber Modest, WBC Super Bantamweight champion. And we will definitely be looking forward to his title defense against Anselmo Moreno.
That's a great, great, great fight of two terrific champions coming together. And kudos to that young man and Moreno for taking such a tough fight.
Yeah, everybody want to tune into that one, November 10th here on Showtime.
The bell and round.